And Harris gets us underway again. The clock is ticking down then, and nobody seemed in favour of picking that up.
Well, it did come off the Sheffield Eagles' foot there, and that really could have bounced into touch. Now then, will we see a real lift now, especially in the defence from either side?
This is Aston with the kick downfield. He's looking for a 40-20. He's got one. That's a great kick from Mark Aston. It'll be head and feed here to the Sheffield Eagles.
Well, it was an option that surprised me Leeds did not utilise in that first half. Of course, it's Sheffield now that has the opportunity to use this wind, and he's done it very well. We mentioned in the first half that the experience of that man Mark Aston, good rule introduced this season.
And that'll be just what John Keir ordered, I think, with this wind blowing now at the Eagles' backs. So they have head and feed at the resultant scrum, and here they are in possession with Hardy. Hardy, though, trapped by Harris. And Watson in at dummy half. Rod Doyle now for the Eagles. 2 tackles gone. And Lawless gives it to Baldwin, and he runs straight into the figure of Jackson and Masella. Lawless again, back on the inside to Watson. David Watson back to Mark Aston, and he shaped a pass and almost fooled Masella and Lee Jackson, but they managed to close the door. Driving run now from Lawton to within a couple of metres of the line. It's the 5th and last for the Sheffield Eagles. What's Mark Aston got in the locker here? Ball back on the inside, try, and Doyle comes up with his second.
You see that the ball went down properly.
And he wants to check if it's been grounded properly again by Rod Doyle, who had to wait for the video referee in the first half.
I've no doubt that he got it down, and neither should the video referee.
Oh.
Was it one-on-one? Now then, did Fleary get a flick at it? Yes, he did. So, well, but is that play on and forced to ground? This will be a try. Harris is released, so there it's one-on-one. Then it would be play on if Fleary has flicked it, which he has, because Harris is just released, or has he? Either way, he'll give a penalty try or a try.
Well, Doyle certainly got it down in the end. Well, the interesting thing this year, Steve-O, is if it's a 2-man tackle like that, and then Harris pulls away, even though it then looks like it's one-on-one, it's still a penalty against the tackling side.
So, penalty try. There'll be no doubt in my mind. He can take whatever option he wants. There's going to be 4 points to the Eagles. Deliberately knocked out by Fleary, that we can see. Doyle then forces it. This is a try. I don't care what they call it.
Well, Doyle waits for the second video ref decision on his try, and the try is given. Just the start that Sheffield Eagles wanted, and it all came about, remember, after that 40-20 kick from Mark Aston.
Take your chances. Aston yet again, he juggled it to Doyle, but he still had the strength. Well, again, Leeds slow to pick out. Now, Sheffield, in the opening minutes of this second half, have done that, bringing the ball back on the inside about 5 times in the build-up to their set of 6. Fully deserved.
Well, Mark Aston hasn't managed to kick a goal yet, but he should here with this. Oh dear. Pulled it the wrong side of the posts. Aston has left his kicking boots at home. 14-8 Leeds lead.
Well, he'll be furious with that. This is the replay. Watch how Aston runs the angle back on the inside. Oh, they failed to fill in. Fleary was extremely slow. Doyle yet again with the strength. Fleary knocks it out. That's a good decision by the video ref. Try number 2 for that fella. Doyle. Eagles have flown back into this match.
Well, Mark Aston put the Sheffield Eagles in the position with a great kick downfield, 40-20. But then he failed with the conversion attempt, 0 from 2. Well, let's have the half-time word from the two coaches. Here's Angela.
John Keir feels that Sheffield have opened up Leeds just as much as Leeds have opened up Sheffield. They've created chances, but they've yet to make the most of them. That try just after half-time was just a perfect start for them. He wants them to tighten up on their defence. If they do that, then they can keep Leeds out. Graham Murray wants his team to up the tempo now, cut out the handling errors and the spilled balls and complete the sets of 6. Then he'll be much happier.
Aston with a high kick. This is interesting. And it's well claimed by Rivette, but offside against Sheffield. Turner claimed the tackle, but came from an offside position ahead of the kicker. Or did he?
Ooh, it's a tough call. But to be fair to the referee, Stuart Cummings, he was pointing and shouting to that man there. But on the high shot, I think he was okay. He was.
A metre onside.
Well, he does on the high shot there, but as I say, the referee did shout to him. And that's the reason why Turner had a few words back to the official.
The Leeds forwards today, Steve-O, they just look as though they're lacking a little bit of their usual venom. That's better from Morley.
Well, that might lift them a little bit. As I say, they were playing very, very flat indeed.
Here's Glanville now.
No penalties. And wait.
Jackson into the arms of Lawford, on to Sinfield, then to Harris. Here's Farrell, and Farrell taking them on up the middle, dumps it back to Harris again. He's surrounded, can't get the pass away. Last tackle here for the Rhinos. Sinfield's the dummy half. It's with Lawford. He'll surely hoist the kick, which he does, under pressure from Baldwin. Patted back by Sterling, collected. Here's Morley, they keep it alive.
Still last.
Flick back again. Lawford once more, on to Lee Jackson. Darren Fleary drops it, Paul Sterling picks up. Here's Farrell, they're still on the last. This is Cummins, he puts the kick in, it bounced, and back it goes, and into the arms of Turner.
Now then, that's a funny one. Was that a knock on? Well, certainly I think that Bright Sodgy got an arm to it, went for the football. Either way, Leeds kept that ball alive. This is the kick from Cummins. That was backwards, that was okay.
And 3. Make it back, fellas.
Yes, it was off a Leeds arm.
Well,
Lawless was able to take the ball forward for Sheffield.
Dare I say it, another chance has gone begging.
They kept the ball alive well though, Leeds, didn't they? Showed plenty of enthusiasm.
Well, it's the first time during this game that we've seen a little bit too adventurous there, trying to get the big fella Dio Powell away right on that right-hand side.
Hardy puts it down, and then Powell finishes the job off. Another Leeds man is down. It's Darren Fleary. As
Obviously,
the Welsh international, Powell calls for some assistance for himself.
Well, that's the reason why the centre is out on the wing at the moment.
Go, fellas, let's get going, please.
And off goes Rocky Turner.
Let's go.
Aaron Turner withdrawn by John Keir, and on comes Michael Jackson as Kevin Sinfield now pops the ball back to nobody. Harris had overrun the ball. Good job that Lawford was there. Doyle gets the tackle in. Here's Martin Masella. Jackson with the first tackle of this match. Michael Jackson of Sheffield, that is. Here's Farrell.
Much better momentum there, but yet they're still just a shade too flat. Now then, what can Harris do with this now? Lawford's trying to find him out wide.
He's found Sinfield, he straightens it up. Kevin Sinfield, tipped it straight into the arms of Baldwin.
Well, there's another one gone. Whether Baldwin called for that. Maybe the inexperience showing there of the youngster Kevin Sinfield, but it was good work by him.
There is a disease that blights the Super League at this time of the year, Steve-O, and Sheffield Eagles got it themselves last year. It's called Wembley-itis. Do you think that Leeds have got their mind on other things? Because if they have, they're silly. They've already lost 2 in the Super League.
Well, I can't believe that an experienced coach like Graham Merrick would not have given them the rounds of the kitchen at half-time and say, listen, if you think you're going to be fitted out for your Wembley Blazer, forget it. It was only 10 days ago that he made it quite clear publicly in the press.
That's great defence. Rivette is bundled into touch. Aston is tapping Sodgy on the head, and Graham Murray sees maybe what he would class as another mistake.
Well, it is, little doubt about it. Rivette caught himself out wide, far too much strength, but getting back to the fact that Graham Murray made it quite clear in the press that there were still certain places up for grabs in that squad. And you can't just go through the motions.
Well, you don't. You don't go through the motions because you've got the JJB Super League Grand Final to aim for in October.
And that's why it's so important for Leeds and Graham Murray. Remember, Graham Murray still yet to pick up any silverware. And what a way to go. If he could get the double, he's already at Wembley, but dearie me, he cannot just hang around and expecting that the other side are going to lie down. They've got to work hard for it. That's how they've got there in the first place.
That's a great tackle by Farrell, but this now is Johnny Lawless.
What a big game he's having. He really has been a problem for the Leeds defence.
Here's Aston, pops the ball back, and this is Lawton, and Farrell gets to him with a little bit of help from Lawford. They're trying to poach one here from dummy half. The Leeds defence has not been caught. Almost. Ricky Wright was almost over the line, the substitute.
Oh,
he was
so close.
Centimetres away.
Pull back.
Well, the first and second markers in this Leeds outfit are just awful. That's the only word that I can conjure up at the moment. They are allowing Sheffield Eagles to just take command of this game. The amount of room that they're allowing the halfback from the dummy half position to take control is outstanding.
Danny Ward, as you've seen, has come on for the Leeds Rhinos, son of the former Leeds captain. David Ward, now of course the coach of Batley, and here's Cummins. David Ward, of course, once upon a time held the job that Graham Murray now has at Headingley. Sinfield to Lawford. Lawford will hoist the kick.
Play on.
Oh, well claimed over there on the far side. It was Carl Lovell, one of the tallest men on the field.
Well, that must go pretty close to a voluntary tackle too. He took the ball and just stood there. Never made any motion to bring the ball back into play, which is within the rules. Oh, juggling there from Jackson.
That's three. Wait with me.
Lawless to Doyle, and here's Hardy.
That's four. Here we
Great
go. Pull
tackle
back.
by Glanville. Here's Aston, and Aston going for another long kick downfield. He's got it. Well, that's the sort of kicking that Mark Aston is famous for, and what's more, he's got head and feed at the scrum for his team, and from this position before, the Eagles scored.
Second occasion in the second half. He's got the wind to his advantage. Leeds failed to take that in the first 40 minutes. He won't. He will be buzzing all the time. Well, just before the half-time break, one got the impression that when the ball was beginning to stick, when Leeds scored those two late tries, it looked a bit ominous for the Eagles, but they fought back well.
They have. Rod Doyle's try in this second half. He's in possession of the football now. And here again is David Watson.
Oh, he's got to go for that.
Well, Glanville.
Was there much intent? He may do a report on this.
Watson has gone down and has stayed down.
Well, perhaps the first impact on the shoulder. And, well, he's sent Glanville away. Fullback Watson certainly finished up that way, but the impact was on the shoulder, to be fair to the Australian Mark Glanville.
And Stuart Cummings has read it that way. Glanville breathes a big sigh of relief. It was at pace, and they always look worse, don't they, when one player collides with another like that at high speed. Aston then from bang in front, and this time he doesn't miss. And 14 points to 10 now. The lead is being reduced all the time by the Sheffield Eagles. They're up for this second half.
This is the incident, perhaps just hitting the shoulder first, and that'll probably save him. And thankfully Stuart Cummings did not panic. Well, he's pretty cool, isn't he, John Keir? And Glanville will perhaps be thinking pretty deep about keeping the arms down. I don't think that Mr. Cummings will give him a second crack.
Here's the full-time scores from elsewhere. Huddersfield have won for the first time this year, 26-12. Castleford haven't. Castleford have beaten Salford 29-17, and Wigan have beaten Warrington 24-10. Full-time from elsewhere in the Super League. Here's Danny Ward. Warrington's unbeaten start to the season comes to an end. Huddersfield, they have managed their first win of the season, but Salford haven't. And Hull, of course, are still waiting for their first points as well.
Well, a big mistake yet again.
And that ball was stolen.
Well, there was
Ricky
two.
Wright got away with it. Grand larceny, 2-on-1.
Certainly was two there. And that was a weird decision by Stuart Cummings.
Sheffield really in control of the match in this second half. Almost 2-1 in terms of possession. Here's Hardy. Now Lovell. Thought about slipping the pass. Having a real job in putting him down, Morley and Fleary. Two of the hard men up front for Leeds. Here's one of the hard men up front for Sheffield, Dale Lawton.
Good work by the forwards yet again from the Eagles. They're getting over the advantage line. Good kick on the blind side.
From Lawless, collected by Sterling, who dropped back to be a second sweeper.
Okay, that's one, clear, Johnny. Here I am. Wait for this foot.
Marcus St. Hilaire now.
All right, it's all right. He didn't do anything.
Well, we really haven't seen the silky skills of Justin Harris so far in this game.
Here's Cummins.
And if ever there was a time to produce something pretty outstanding, it's now.
Sinfield, meanwhile, on the fourth tackle, grounded. Jackson, here's Lawford. Now Cummins tries to go inside Senior, but Senior did well. Rivette to Lawford. Oh, Lawford clattered as he kicked that, but it wasn't the best. And Sodji collects it behind his own line. Oh, Sovatabua, I beg your pardon.
Read it well, did Sovatabua. Nice little kick. Tense moments now for the Eagles, but the forwards are really working hard. It's been a good fight back in this second half, and they can point to the wonderful kicking ability of Mark Aston. 2 40-20s have gained them the head and feed.
Doyle to Michael Jackson. All wrapped up by Farrell. That's the last. Jackson and Farrell having a discussion, and that's all it is at the moment. Sodji's after it, but Harris stands firm in defence.
He's lost it. Harris has lost that football. And as he pulled it out, he said that Sodji got a fingertip to it. Well,
Sodji doesn't like this decision. He pulled it out one-on-one, says Stuart Cummings, but the ball went forward.
Harris takes it. Good impact. Yeah, he did. Well spotted there by Stuart Cummings. Crowd don't like it. And when you're 4 points behind, it's very rare they do.
Sodji didn't like it either, he was furious. There's Sinfield, and it goes to Harris. Well, they're sticking to the guns, the Eagles. Morley, flick pass. This is St. Hilaire. I think the Sheffield Eagles believe that Leeds are here for the taking. This is Danny Ward.
Well, he's showing the way, the youngster.
Only 18 years of age. Glanville. Jackson and on to Fleary. On to Lawford and out wide to Cummins.
Good play there by Keith Senior. Offered his opposite number to go on the outside.
Sinfield, now Fleary. Harris, he's nowhere to go. Good defence from Sheffield, but Harris running and trying to break them down up the middle. Looking for support. Sinfield is there. Sinfield, great tackle from Watson. And the ball has come out. Its tackle is completed on Sinfield and the ball has gone forward, is the decision of the referee. But how about this from Harris?
Well, the first time we've seen him break through the defence. Good support play by Sinfield. He was trying to offload. That's the reason why the Eagles will get the head and feet at the scrum. Well, it needs more from that to secure these 2 points for Leeds.
Now the Rhinos will hunt a mistake in defence. They've made 14 clean breaks, Leeds, to Sheffield 6. They haven't really done that much with them, though, have they?
Missed opportunities, but it's going to be interesting in the last quarter of this game.
And missed tackles as well. Talking about missed opportunities.
Well, we spoke about the intensity. It would not have pleased both coaches.
Well, I mentioned the connection between these two clubs right at the start of today's coverage. Gary Hetherington, the Eagles founder, now chief executive at Headingley. Players like Powell, Hay, Jackson, Farrell, Sheridan and Lawford are all ex-Eagles. And there's quite a bit of a former Leeds contingent in the Sheffield ranks as well.
Aston looking for yet another 40-20. Just a little bit off target.
There's Gary Hetherington, the Leeds chief executive these days, and he was Mr. Sheffield Eagles at one stage. And Kath Hetherington from the Gateshead Thunder, who won the second match last night, sitting alongside.
That's one, clear! Come on, pull back. No penalties.
This is Glanville now for Leeds. We're entering the last quarter of this match. Morley.
That's great defence by Sheffield. They're moving up so quickly that they're forcing Leeds into one-out football.
Better run from Lee Jackson, and he's collared by Aston, but unfairly
Above
high.
the shoulder. Is that above the shoulder?
Well, Aston saying that I've grabbed hold of his shirt. But you can see quite clearly that it's the collar that he gets. And under the rules, if the collar's turned up, of course, it's above the shoulders.
A la Dwight York and Eric Cantona then.
Leeds playing with collars, Sheffield Eagles without.
Well, it's an indication really of how tight this match is, that Iestyn Harris is going to have a shot at goal here. 31 metres out.
Pressure kick. Well, time is off. It's just rolled off the tee there. There's the length. Smack in front. This should be a gift.
Well, he's into the bit of a breeze, isn't he, that there is out here at Don Valley. You have to give this a thump. Harris then for 2 more points after Mark Aston hit Lee Jackson a bit too high. Taking an age, isn't he, Iestyn Harris? But time is immaterial when you grab 2 more points, and Leeds have edged further ahead by 16 points to 10. Just about 20 minutes of the match remaining. And Iestyn Harris, who made his 60th appearance for Leeds last Monday against London, he averages 9 points a game for the Leeds Rhinos since he joined them from Warrington.
Stay behind, fellas.
Just issuing words of encouragement to his players for the final quarter of this match.
Well, Sheffield certainly not out of this match, especially with the fact that the way that they started their second half is running from the dummy half. We mentioned the fact that Leeds are extremely slow in that first and second marker position. Oh, great play there.
Did well, Senior.
Did he ever?
Shallow kick-off just over the 10 metres, and Senior claimed it. Senior, one of the tallest men on the field, now one of the smallest. Watson. Full of enthusiasm though, David Watson, isn't he, the former New Zealand international. Here's Ricky Wright now for Sheffield. Ricky Wright, one of the former Leeds players I mentioned. He started at Leeds Academy, and this now is Lawton, and Lawton trying to poach one, hit that ball at pace, and he's still trying to get an extra metre or so. Picks it up, plays it, that's the Leeds try line. Flying pass into the arms of Aston. Here's Sodji. The Leeds defence has moved up. It was Hardy, beg your pardon. This is Aston. Aston with a kick out wide, looking for Sodji. Sodji's there, the ball has spilled. Leeds have got it in the shape of Cummins, but he's tackled over his own line by Senior.
Pressure kick from Aston there. You can see Sodji perhaps went for the man. This is a short kick-off. It amazes me why a lot of clubs don't do this all the time. It always confuses the defence, a lot of pressure, especially when there's not much in the scoreline. Look at the blood splattered all over. The big centre, Keith Senior, a few stitches across the lips. He'll be pretty sore tonight if he's having fish and chips with vinegar on.
Harris with the drop out to halfway. Watson will run it back again. There's no bigger heart in this Sheffield Eagles side than David Watson.
Well, we spoke about lifting a gear, and Watson really has injected himself in his second half. But yet again, this simple movement of coming away first man, bringing somebody back on the inside, has created all sorts of problems for the Rhinos.
Good drive in from Lawton. 3 tackles gone. And Morley got a hand there.
Well, you can see
Darren Turner.
Turner was looking for someone to come back on the inside. It wasn't
Hardy. And he flicks it back. It was risky. Oh, Leeds man flat out. Watson looking for the 4.
Well, Jackson claiming to the referee that he was obstructed when that ball went to ground.
Aston now. Quick hands to Doyle. It needs to move quicker. That was put down by Michael Jackson.
Well, that'll be the turnover on the last tackle. But it was really good pressure there by Sinfield.
Doesn't change anything, Bright.
Well, there was an obstruction there. You deliberately took Jackson out. That should have been a penalty. Either way.
They have a penalty now, Leeds, for offside. And Lawford deposits the ball into touch, just about on the halfway line.
Well, they've tried hard at Leeds, trying to go down the middle. As I say, this solid defence from Sheffield has kept him in that central pattern, but it's about time Leeds started giving this ball some air out wide, missing the man out.
And time for your votes now for the man of the match, 0660 10 10 13, and 2 grand final tickets on offer for the winner of our competition today on the Super League Live this Sunday afternoon. 0660 10 10 13 is the phone number, and it's going to be one of the biggest conundrums of the season to find a man of the match performance from this. It's not been a game of the highest quality, but there's an old saying, isn't there? If you play not terribly well and still manage to come up with a couple of points, you could be in for a good season. Here's Harris. Cummins enveloped by Bright Sodgy. 10 metres from the Eagles try line, the last tackle, and Harris shaped to kick, now dabbed it to the corner but straight into the arms of Senior. Senior was going out of the field of play, so he switched it back inside to Aston.
Good position there by the big centre. Did well to keep that ball alive as well.
Somebody's gone down, Aston's gone down, clutching his head, and I think Lawford, or was it Farrell, who might be in a bit of trouble here.
Farrell certainly went for him.
But he's also pushed him off, hasn't he? And that's what the
there you see, Aston is, well, it was flat of the hand.
Shoot him off with a flat hand.
Clearly shouldn't have done it anyway, but he should have been conned in the first place. It was an innocuous sort of push by Mark Aston.
And Anthony Farrell fell for it. Oh, I don't think he's found touch with this. He hasn't. He's taken it right the way down to the other end of the field, though, but it's a shocking kick by Turner. And Jackson is on his way, and here's Sterling. Now can Leeds turn defensive to attack?
Oh, to the ball!
Chances here, Sovatabua, over the top it goes, and that's Lovell who's supported. Well, Sovatabua with such strength. Now it's with Hardy. Here is Doyle. Doyle back on the inside to Michael Jackson. He's lost it. Oh, he's lost it. Play on, it's back to 1. Stolen one way, then a knock on. Sheffield have it back. This is a catalogue of errors.
Well, it was a great tackle by Ward that dislodged that football.
Lawton with a charge to the line.
That's 2. Now clear, now clear.
Watch for the inside pass again.
He's saying he's got the ball down. Penalty. Hands in to play the ball. Penalty against Leeds. Aston, they're getting on quickly with it. This is Hardy. Hardy short ball to Baldwin, who will score. And the dam has broken. Simon Baldwin with the try. And Simon Baldwin, one of the men who came to Sheffield from the Halifax Blue Sox, has come up with the try. And all that pressure on the Leeds line, after it looked like the opportunity had been spurned when Turner didn't find touch, has come up with a try.
Well, they failed to do it, and Salvatore picks the ball off Sterling. They failed to kick for the penalty. Jackson came through, passed through, they struggled through it, and then it came up to a beautiful big hit from Dan Ward. Oh, look at that. Ward really got to it, the ball went through, and Sinfield lost control of it. The referee said go on, then they got a penalty. Now, Euston Harris was talking to the referee, Stuart Cummings, and saying that this is went close. Lawton went close, but now then, does Lawton make a second move? That could have been perhaps, and then get the ball out wide. Hardy back on it. It was a beautiful offload there to Baldwin. Well, the Sheffield Eagles are showing them exactly what they need to do. Run onto the football. They could lose this quite easy.
They could now, because the score's a level at 16-all after the conversion by Mark Aston. Baldwin's try then, 16 apiece at Don Valley. And Sheffield Eagles are giving Leeds a real fright. 3 tries apiece. So, sorry, 3 tries to 2. Sheffield Eagles are ahead, but on the scoreboard, it's 16-all. Who wants that?
That'll be play on.
It is. Leeds wanted it the most, and Jackson's come up with possession. There's Dan Ward. Here now is Anthony Farrell. And Leeds trying to outmuscle this Sheffield Eagles defence, and they will not be intimidated.
Oh, I'm not so sure. I think Morley got a fingertip to it there. Well, there's been some funny decisions. He's lost that football. That'll be play on. Lawford had no control of that. Well, we might get an exciting last 10 minutes, but that's a penalty given away. Far too enthusiastic. Terry Newton, he was in amongst it all. It was a big hit, and you could see there that Lawford couldn't control his football. Well, Leeds have only themselves to blame. There's only been certain times in this match when they really have been intense in regards to attack. Some shoddy tackling.
And Watson has led the way all afternoon.
He's had a great second half.
He has. I know he had 10 minutes in the sin bin in the first half, but he has had all the enthusiasm, and so has Lawton. And Sodji was being hauled back then in back play by Morley. Could easily have been a penalty. As it is, the referee allows Sheffield to play on. Now he'll give the penalty.
He played the advantage. He knew that there'd been an infringement.
And Adrian Morley's on his way to the sin bin. He was pulling back at the jersey of Sodji. The referee spotted it. I thought he hadn't, but he allowed the advantage to Sheffield.
It was only a little one. In fact, it took him out in the end. But full credit though to Sodji. Kept it alive. Well, Leeds thought they were coasting. They scored those 2 tries just before the half-time break, and the Eagles have really come back with a vengeance, and fully deserved, I might add.
Mark Aston then to put the Eagles ahead, and that he does. The first time in the match that Sheffield Eagles lead, and John Keir is watching his men really give Leeds the fright of their lives. 18 points to 16. John Keir, hot tip to take over from Graham Murray when Graham Murray goes home at the end of the year to take charge of the North club in Australia.
And to be fair, Eddie, you really have got to hand it to John Keir. The tactics of those 2 40-20 kicks, utilising the wind as soon as they restarted in the second half from Mark Aston, has set the ball rolling for a real upset here. Even John Keir and some of the players were saying they had not played very well this season. It has taken them a while to get into the swing of things, but this second half, they have exploded.
0660, 10-10-13 for your man of the match. Catalogue of errors for so long, but suddenly 1 or 2 Eagles, I think, are showing that maybe they are candidates for the man of the match award. He lost that.
That'll be play on.
Ricky Wright lost it. Sinfield has it. This now is St. Hilaire. Great tackle. Flying tackle by Salvatore.
Now there was a hand in there on the replay. Perhaps there was. Well, it's had everything from good to bad in different aspects of this match. Ward won't give in. He'll keep going forward, perhaps more than some of his fellow players.
Jackson. Jackson gets to his feet, plays it to Glanville. Here is Lawford. Look forward.
Look forward, it was forward.
Referee took a glance to the touch judge, and Lawford is giving Iestyn Harris the round of the kitchen.
Well, it was forward. It was as simple as that. Just a basic principle move. Well, all those people that perhaps are making Leeds odds on for the double.
Like yourself?
My word, but not on this showing. As you say, there's a few Wembley Blazers on a coat hanger somewhere, and these guys out here think that they're already fitted up.
Here's Chris Thorman. He produced the kick, remember, at Hull on Monday that won that match, just about, although Ashton had to kick the conversion. That flick back, here's Hardy, now Sova Tabua. The big Fijian again sets off on a run. The captain returns for Sheffield Eagles. Charging run again from Turner. John Keir makes great use of Lawless and Turner, doesn't he? Here's Thorman. John Keir also has great words to say about this fellow from the northeast of England. Aston scampers into dummy half. Here's Watson. And a great second half, as Steve-O says. And offloads the ball to Shaw. Here's Thorman again. And Thorman thought about releasing it, took the tackle.
Surely 1 point, they'll drive it. Here's Aston.
Went to kick. Still going Aston, Leeds falling off the tackle. Thorman back to Sodji. Big gaps opened up for Sodji. Ward gets to him.
Now they'll go for it.
Oh, the Eagles are going here to wrap up this match with Watson. Watson, back it goes to Hardy. Hardy still. Here's Senior. Senior over the top. This is the match. That's Jeff Hardy, who has come up with a try that will clinch the win.
Calm down, calm down. Oh,
And Graham Murray is on his way down to the touchline. And Jeff Hardy's first try of the year, I think, has won the game for the Sheffield Eagles. And look at the face on Graham Murray. He's not impressed with his team. But John Keir will be delighted with Jeff Hardy, the veteran who has clinched the match.
2 attempts at the field goal. Aston had one just before Watson got into the swing of things. Back on the inside. This ploy of bringing someone back on the angle has completely mesmerised Leeds this afternoon, especially in the second half. Watson back. Leeds defence, they don't know what on earth is happening. It's a simple ploy. How many times the Eagles have done this during the course of this match has been outstanding. The smile, the raised fist, and why not? Sova Tabua says, look at my finger. We've got the 2. They're in a lot of trouble. Leeds, he's not.
He's the winning coach, John Keir. You wouldn't tell from that picture. A quiet little murmur of satisfaction, I think, going through his body. Aston hits the upright. 22 points to 16. Sheffield Eagles could have wrapped it up here.
Well, so many chances went begging that first 60 minutes, but this is one that they didn't fling. Back on the inside, Senior did so well. Completely mesmerised. Not surprisingly, the Leeds skipper, Iestyn Harris, scratches his head. There'll be more than just Harris scratching it after this one. Let's play on. Was he offside? Turner was. Knock on is given, but Turner was from an offside position.
There's a Sheffield Eagle flat out. Oh, and Aston, a heavy collision.
I think Jackson went flying high. You'll see him there on your right-hand side. And just caught him with the back of the shoulder.
Well, can Leeds claw their way back into this match somehow? It's only 6 points. Trying a goal would level it. And Leeds are hunting the draw at least. Oh, Sinfield puts the ball down. Well, they were hunting a win. Now they're hunting a draw. And in a moment they're going to be hunting the Eagles because they'll be in possession.
Well, the sooner that the Leeds coach Graham Merry packs them all onto a bus down to London, show them round the tower, show them the sights, because they got their minds elsewhere.
And the grand finalists of last year are staring at their third defeat in Super League. First of all, it's not the form to take to a cup final, but more importantly, it gives them one almighty job to do later on in the year if they want to taste Old Trafford again.
My word, remember, it's so vital to get into the top three, so you get the home tie. 3 losses early in the season.
Particularly with Wigan and St Helens motoring away up there at the top. Saints, remember, unblemished. We saw them at London on Friday. But you cannot say that this year about Leeds. Not in the Super League. Here's Senior. Back it goes to Jackson. And Aston will just dab the ball into touch. That's experience there. The clock will tick down. And this is going to be a famous win for the Sheffield Eagles. Their first here at Don Valley in the Super League against the Leeds Rhinos.
And fully deserved, Eddie. We mentioned just after the restart that if it was going to be anything tight of a game, then that man Mark Aston would control things out there. It was only 2 long kicks, 2 40-20s, but it changed the momentum of this match.
Here's St Hilaire. He's away. Not for long. That was a great tackle from Hardy. We're in the last 20 seconds and Leeds understandably running this. Cummins to Rivette. Sochi so big in defence, but he manages to get it away to Newton. Over then to Farrell. Further into the centre to Harris. Harris to Glanville.
Forward.
Play on. This is St Hilaire. Back it goes to Sheffield Eagles. And that's Leeds gone. And that's the match for John Keir and the Sheffield Eagles.
Time, fellas, time.
Time up, says Stuart Cummins. Simon Baldwin's try and Jeff Hardy's try in the last 11 minutes of this match have won it for the Sheffield Eagles.